As I settled into the living room, cradling my coffee cup, I found solace in the gentle cadence of the rain falling outside. The raindrops tapping against the window created a symphony of sound. It was often during these instances that the weight of my solitude pressed down most heavily upon me. Daniel frequently embarked on journeys, leaving me solitary in this vast, hushed abode. Yet today unfolded in a manner unlike any other. Arthur, my stepson, had returned. After 2 years immersed in the world of software engineering overseas, he had finally returned to the comforts of home. His return ignited a spark within me. A vague sensation stirred within me, an intricate blend of emotions that I couldn't quite articulate, yet it was undeniably thrilling. As the sound of footsteps echoed from the hallway, I instinctively tightened my grip around my coffee cup. "Velma," he called. His voice resonated with the vibrant spirit of youth, embodying the essence of being 21. Yet, there existed a serene, assured quality to it. "I have arrived, Arthur." "Welcome back, Emmeline," I said, striving to keep my voice steady. As Arthur stepped through the door, I couldn't help but observe how remarkably different he appeared. The black t-shirt clung to him just right, accentuating his robust, athletic physique. His hair was cropped and tidy, while his facial features had taken on a sharper, more mature quality. Yet, what truly struck me was the assurance reflected in his gaze. This transformed version of him caught me off guard, prompting an involuntary deep breath from within. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, allowing me to share even more captivating true stories with you. Stay tuned for the entirety of this video, as the narrative promises to be utterly captivating. I once viewed myself as resilient and self-sufficient. Life had presented numerous challenges after I became a widow at a tender age. Yet, I had persevered and embarked on a fresh chapter alongside Daniel. Yet, an emptiness lingered within me, a constant presence that could not be ignored. A realm brimming with silent yearning and passion, concealed deep within my soul. Arthur's return was unearthing those buried emotions. I never anticipated the depth of its impact on me. Each glance at him stirred echoes of serene moments, where my heart ached for days gone by. Arthur settled onto the couch, his gaze fixed upon me. "I can't even begin to express how deeply I've missed this house," he said, placing his coffee cup down gently. "All remains unchanged, yet there's an undeniable sense of difference in the air. Perhaps it is I who have transformed." I smiled, yet that smile was tinged with the bittersweet ache of memories long gone. In the span of 2 years, everything can transform dramatically. "It's astonishing to witness the transformation of that once shy kid," I remarked, carefully avoiding his gaze before redirecting my focus to my coffee. The sparkle in Arthur's eyes was impossible to overlook. He offered a faint smile and remarked, "But you haven't changed. Ever the embodiment of grace, Velma remains unchanged." His words instilled in me a sense of pride, yet also stirred a hint of unease within. I stole a quick glance at him. The intensity in his gaze held me captive, rendering me immobile. A profound intuition stirred within me, suggesting that this could evolve into an endeavor that challenges limits. In that fleeting instant, an unspoken understanding enveloped us, as we embraced the essence of one another's existence. A subtle tension lingered in the air between us, an unspoken understanding that hung like a delicate thread. Thus, it was merely the dawn of what was to come. I aimed to create a memorable experience for Arthur's homecoming. I selected my favorite dress from the closet, a rich red wine hue that embraced my silhouette flawlessly, ending just above my knees. With meticulous attention, I arranged my hair to cascade gracefully over my shoulders, complementing it with a touch of delicate makeup. Gazing into the mirror for a fleeting moment, I envisioned myself as another person entirely. Deep down, I was aware that all this effort was for Arthur, yet I swiftly attempted to dismiss that notion. Ultimately, he was merely my stepson. Isn't that so? As I made my way down the stairs, I noticed that Daniel had yet to return from his day at work. Yet, Arthur was present. When his gaze met mine, the admiration in his eyes was unmistakable. For a fleeting moment, our gazes intertwined. Silently, I pivoted and made my way toward the kitchen. Every detail needed to be flawless for the evening meal. When Daniel finally arrived home, the dinner table awaited him, elegantly set and ready for the evening's meal. Exquisite dishes, a refined table linen, and the soft glow of candles. The three of us gathered, and the dialogue unfolded effortlessly as it always does. Daniel engaged in a discussion about his work, while Arthur shared his aspirations with us. Yet, unbeknownst to me, my eyes continually wandered back to Arthur. The manner in which he grasped the wine glass with those powerful hands. His smile was subtle, a gentle curve that accompanied his words. I was captivated by every tiny detail. During the course of dinner, I rose to fetch another glass of wine. As I retrieved the bottle from the fridge and prepared to return to the table, I became aware of Arthur's silent presence behind me. He lingered a mere step behind me. So near that I could sense his breath against my neck. "Velma," he murmured. His voice carried a warmth and sincerity that enveloped those who heard it. As I glanced in his direction, our gazes intertwined, holding each other in a silent moment. "I appreciate all that you have done. The meal, the setting, the cozy embrace of this home. Everything is exquisite." Yet he hesitated for an instant, allowing his eyes to wander across my form. "Your beauty has only grown." My heart raced wildly, threatening to burst from my chest. Words eluded me, leaving me in a silent gaze, captivated by his presence. Yet he persevered. "Your grace and brilliance have always left a profound impact on me. I understand you are committed to a fortunate partner, yet I felt compelled to express this regardless." A knot began to tighten in my throat. "Arthur, how could you possibly say that?" "Text, I suppose I ought to express my gratitude," I murmured, presenting a tentative smile. I silently made my way back to the kitchen, placing the wine bottle on the table with a quiet finality. Daniel continued to speak, blissfully oblivious to the mounting tension within me. My thoughts were in a whirlwind. As the final course came to a close, Arthur rose to gather the wine glasses. I offered my assistance to him. Daniel, engrossed in the glow of his phone, remained oblivious to the quiet tension that hung between Arthur and me. I averted my eyes, yet the weight of his stare pressed upon me. Following the evening meal, all retired to their respective chambers. As Daniel immersed himself in his tasks, I became enveloped in the solitude of my own reflections. Arthur's words resonated within me, lingering like a haunting melody. "Your beauty has only grown more radiant." How could something so seemingly simple have such a profound impact on me? Sleep eluded me that night. Arthur's return had ignited a tempest within me, leaving me uncertain of the path these emotions would lead me down. As I gradually opened my eyes the following morning, rays of sunlight streamed through the curtains, illuminating the room. It came to my attention that Daniel had already departed. The space beside me lay vacant. In a fleeting instant, a wave of relief washed over me. As I attempted to concentrate on my daily routine, Arthur's words from the previous night lingered in my thoughts, refusing to fade away. As I rose from the embrace of sleep, my robe gently cascaded from my shoulders, a whisper of fabric in the morning light. As I gazed into the mirror, a reflection emerged that felt unfamiliar yet profoundly revealing, a glimpse of myself I hadn't encountered in ages. I found myself feeling attractive, perhaps even more so than Daniel had observed in years. As I ran my fingers through my hair, I caught a glimpse of the subtle sparkle in my eyes reflected in the mirror. I took a brief moment to reflect, lost in thought. What am I engaged in? What is it that makes me feel this way? As I pivoted toward my closet to select my attire, I observed that the door was ever so slightly ajar. Initially, it seemed insignificant, yet gradually, something began to draw my focus. It dawned on me that Arthur was there, observing my every move. For a brief moment, we remained still, caught in a suspended silence. I gazed at him, my expression a blend of astonishment and chagrin. He, in contrast, attempted to avert his gaze, reminiscent of a child discovered in wrongdoing. "Arthur," I exclaimed, my voice tinged with both astonishment and intrigue. Apologies escaped his lips in a hushed tone. Gradually, he shifted his gaze back to me, a faint blush coloring his cheeks. Your presence captivated me completely. It was truly inadvertent. In the midst of the gravity of the situation, a smile crept onto my face, unstoppable. He must have sensed the warmth radiating from my gaze. Tex, don't feel so ashamed, I said, offering him a gentle smile. Daniel has already departed. This morning, it's simply the two of us. For a fleeting instant, Arthur's eyes shimmered with uncertainty. He appeared caught in a dilemma, wavering between the choice to remain or to depart. In that moment, a profound change stirred within me. I came to understand that this was entirely within my grasp. With a warmer inflection, I suggested, come on, let's spend some time together. We might enjoy breakfast or perhaps indulge in something different. With those words, lingering in the atmosphere, Arthur gradually approached the door. A new kind of tension hung between us, more potent than it had ever been. Yet, it lacked any sense of fear. There was an undeniable thrill in the air. His gaze swept across me the moment he stepped into the room. Uncertainty loomed over me, shrouding the future in mystery. Yet, beneath the surface, I sensed that this morning would be anything but ordinary. Velma, sensing the powerful urge within her, observed the uncertainty reflected in Arthur's gaze. She hesitated briefly, yet swiftly advanced in his direction. With a delicate touch, she reached out and took hold of his arm, softly leading him toward the bed. Even with his bewildered look, she spoke with a serene assurance, inviting him, come on, let's take a seat for a few moments. There are matters we need to discuss. Arthur, filled with uncertainty, cast a glance her way, yet Velma softly urged him to take a seat on the bed. She made her way to him in that place. The distance that once separated them diminished, and the tension in the air crackled with an undeniable energy. Velma was acutely aware of each subtle shift within her body. Something within her was fracturing, and there was no way to return from this point. Arthur, she murmured, her voice rich and soothing. I'm not merely observing you, I'm experiencing you as well. Do you grasp that? Arthur inclined his head ever so slightly, his gaze brimming with a tapestry of intricate emotions. Determining the depths of his emotions proved challenging, yet the weight of Velma's words resonated deeply within him. He nodded silently, acutely aware of the significance of their proximity. Velma shut her eyes, inhaling deeply. This was the moment to be fully embraced. The tension between them intensified with each fleeting moment, and Velma was determined not to remain silent. She was destined to achieve far greater things. I tenderly guided her onto the bed, our lips meeting. In a fervent kiss as she settled above me. I never expected this, she whispered, her gaze lifting to meet mine, eyes brimming with surprise and excitement, her hands clutching my hips with an intensity that sent shivers down my spine. Neither did I responded softly, my voice laced with warmth. Yet, the allure of continuing is simply irresistible. As our kiss deepened, I sensed his every reaction to my touch. My hand glided beneath his shirt, tracing the contours of his warm skin as I ventured across his sculpted stomach. He released a gentle moan, and the sound coursed shivers along my spine. Velma, you are truly remarkable, he whispered softly. He drew me nearer, his hands gliding along my back with a gentle touch. I conveyed the trust I held for him, my voice imbued with longing. Then let us not squander a moment, he declared, as he seized the hem of my silk dressing gown and drew it open. I paused, breath caught in my throat, as the unexpected opening washed over me. You are so beautiful, sweetheart, he murmured, pressing his lips to my neck, igniting a flame within me. His hands glided over my body, each caress a whisper of seduction. His warmth ignited every nerve ending, and his kisses on my neck unleashed wave after wave of exquisite pleasure. I gently arched my back, a soft moan slipping from my lips. Emboldened by a surge of bravery, I sought greater depths and led him onward. As the hours slipped by and the fervor that had ignited our connection began to wane, we discovered ourselves ensconced in each other's embrace, a cocoon of warmth and intimacy. We remained enveloped in each other's warmth, inhaling deeply to soothe one another. Within me, turmoil swirled, yet the proximity to Arthur, the sensation of his every movement, enveloped me in a strange tranquility. The reverberations of that moment lingered in my mind, suspended between the haunting whispers of the past and the unpredictable shadows of the future. Eventually, Arthur rose from his seat and made his way to the bathroom with a hushed demeanor. As my gaze drifted through the shadowy recesses of the room, a tempest brewed within my thoughts. What had I wrought? How accurate was it? I experienced a profound sense of difference, yet intertwined with those emotions was an undercurrent of fear. Ought Daniel to be aware? Perhaps. In that instant, a voice within me murmured, perhaps it was merely a fleeting moment. Yet another voice countered, I desired this, I sensed it, and it holds significance. After an hour had passed, the sound of my phone ringing broke the silence. It was indeed Daniel. I took a deep breath and responded, finding a sliver of solace in his typically composed tone. Greetings, Velma, Daniel remarked, I have something to share with you. It dawned on me that I have not given you the attention you deserve today. This evening, I would love to whisk you away for a candlelit dinner, just the two of us. Only the two of us, unwinding, enjoying each other's company. What do you think of that? My hand, clutching the phone, quivered with uncertainty. Daniel's words resonated as a simple yet exquisite invitation. Yet, amidst the turmoil within, accepting his invitation only deepened my sense of emotional solitude. Did he truly merit this fate? What transpired with Arthur, then? I found myself utterly adrift in this quandary. Indeed, Daniel, I replied, making an effort to mask the doubt that lingered in my tone. I would truly cherish that. It will be delightful to share moments with you. As I ended the call, a whirlwind of thoughts crashed together in my mind. I was cognizant of all that transpired. Yet, amidst it all, a sense of disorientation enveloped me. Regardless of the moments of joy I experienced, the turmoil within me was increasingly transforming into an unbearable weight. Daniel's words appeared to provide me with a semblance of security, a glimmer of hope for restoring order to the chaos. Yet Arthur, in that instant, those caresses, those gazes, they had drawn me into an entirely different realm. A whisper within urged me to believe that, in due course, all would align perfectly. Yet, another voice whispered to me that I possessed all the knowledge I needed at this moment. How profound the transformation was in the extent to which everything had shifted. Daniel and the evening meal. Perhaps this evening I shall shut my eyes and embrace the notion that all is well. Yet, what of Arthur? Is it possible to erase the memory of that moment we shared? I gradually propped myself up and gazed out the window. The sun dipped below the horizon. All around, the world gradually faded into shadows, enveloped in a profound stillness. In that moment, I understood that existence unfolded in a continuous loop. At times, achieving balance can feel elusive. At times, you wander aimlessly, unaware of the destination your heart has chosen for you. Yet, on a particular day, a sense of hope washed over me, whispering that all would eventually fall into place. I would discover significance within myself and the decisions I make. Regardless of the circumstances, a decision awaited me today. In that instant, nestled within the depths of my being, despite the uncertainty of what the night would unfold, I embraced the gift that life had presented to me. Ultimately, the most profound emotional odyssey often starts with a simple act of acceptance. Even amidst the swirling chaos of uncertainty, perhaps meaning lies concealed within those intricate moments when we find ourselves adrift. If you've journeyed to this point, it's clear that the narrative has captivated your interest. An abundance of excitement lies ahead, and you certainly won't want to overlook it. Tap that follow button and activate notifications to be the first to immerse yourself in my